was on a TV program. When the moderator came on, he looked into the camera and said, while other candidates for governor are running on better schools and more roads, Gatewood Galbraith is running on legalizing marijuana. And I said, hold it right there, Bob. Let's get something straight. Just like these other candidates, I envision better schools, and I envision more roads, and I envision delivery of health care to the rural areas, and feeding our hungry and housing our homeless. The only difference between me and these other candidates is that I figured out a way to pay for it without putting it on the shoulders of the already overburdened. Day in office, I'm going to ground every helicopter the state of Kentucky owns. There's not going to be helicopters hovering over the fields and gardens of the people of the state of Kentucky. This is America, not Afghanistan, and we're not an occupied territory, and I'm not going to treat us like we are. It is obscene that we have 66 out of Kentucky's 120 counties that can't even afford to educate their own children, and yet the Kentucky public is sending out hundreds of millions of dollars, and the American public is sending out billions of dollars in tax-free income to the international criminal syndicates in South America and Mexico for a plant my granddaddy used to grow by the thousands of acres, and I'm going to redirect that money out of the hands of these international criminal syndicates, and I'm going to put them into the capital tax coffers of Frankfurt so I can lift the people of Kentucky out of poverty and out of the misery and out of these last place standard living. And not only am I going to redirect this money, but I'm going to redefine the role of government in policing private behavior in the state of Kentucky. We live in a police state. We live in a police state. You can leave here, go out and get in your car, and they can set up a random roadblock in front of you, make you get out of your car, bring a dog up to sniff you, your car, and all its belongings, take blood out of the yarn, make you pee in a bottle, and stick their hands where the sun don't shine. That's a police state. That's a police state no matter how. You think John Wayne would put up with that? You think John Wayne would put up with that? John's riding his horse down the trail and they drop a log in front of him and say, John, get off that horse. We're going to take blood out of the yarn. You got to pee in this bucket. We're going to stick our fingers up your butt. I think John Wayne would say, I'm afraid not, Pilgrim. This is where I draw my line in the sand, and this is where we're drawing the line in the sand in the state of Kentucky. We're going to return privacy and individual dignity and freedom each and every individual in the state of Kentucky and get the police out of the business of promoting morality and put them back in the business of promoting law and order in the state of Kentucky.
I don't know, Jack. It reminds me of another fellow I was telling about running for governor. He said, well, I'll be for you or against you, whichever helped you the most.
Gatewood, could I ask you one quick question and then you two can try? I just want your feelings and opinions about what was stated in the news about 3 weeks ago that America has more prisoners in jails than any other country in the world now.
It's absolutely obscene. That's obscene. Any government that tells you that the solution to a present-day problem is doubling the prison population over the next 20 years has its head stuck where it's never going to discover the 1,000 points of light of George Bush. My opinion of it.
And one other question in relation to that. About a year ago, George Bush dedicated a big prison in the Los Angeles area, and then it was reported that he was the first president in the history of our country to ever dedicate a prison.
It goes along with this totalitarian and fascist mentality. These people's idea of future full employment is to make half of us prison guards and the other half prisoners. This man is an alien. He's not a conservative, he's an alien. He and Ronald Reagan both. They are willing to imprison a whole generation of people to keep intact the petrochemical and pharmaceutical monopolies in this country, of which he's well vested in each. And I think he's a vampire. I don't think he's an American. I think he's a vampire willing to suck the life out of all us victims in order to remain powerful. in a powerful position. But let me take this opportunity right here. Wherever this gets shown, let me tell you something. I am pleased and honored to be in the presence of one of the most brilliant men in the United States today.
This gentleman next to you,
I've is author of Emperor Wears No Clothes, and so much more than just an author. A researcher and a dedicated and diligent activist, and a man who I know for a fact is responsible for tens of thousands of people in this country being able to come out of the closet and stand up out of the darkness and stand up out of oppression and despair and lives of quiet desperation, and be able to point to the source of knowledge and the truth and the point of light that this man right here is personally responsible for putting together. I would not be where I am today were it not for Jack Hare, and I know that a lot of people would not be walking tall and with dignity and a sense of pride and a sense that they do no wrong by communicating with Mother Earth through the herb and in other fashions. And this man right here is responsible for as much of it as I know of. I'm sure other people deserve credit who have helped him out. But this man right here is one of the most brilliant people in the United States today, and I hope someday that this country and the people in it will reward him appropriately for what he's done for freedom and individuality and civil liberties and Mother Earth in this country. I want to take that opportunity right now.
Does that mean I got free grass for the rest of my life?
No, I was going to ask you that. Hell no, I got to make profit, son.
That's what I'll do.
Books, I got to start robbing you.
Here, let me show you something you can take back, and we can give you better photos. This is Mr. Henry Ford in 1941 with Popular Mechanics magazine showing off his car made from hemp.
Oh, is that when the whole car itself was made from hemp?
And it says so right there in Popular Mechanics, 1941. Is that nice? One more nail in the car. That's an I mean, they should have never let us find that one.
Oh man, that is. Let me tell you right now, this is not the case of a blind hog snuffing out an acorn every once in a while. This is dedication and intelligence. You know, I think Edison said that genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. This man right here has sweat his ass off.
Oh, yes, he certainly has.
Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you, I had a lot of good teachers.
Okay,
this man wrote a book that I read that was one of the, really, Michael Aldrich had written some of the greatest work on hemp long before I even really understood hemp. Well, he wrote it in '77. The Kentucky
Really?
hemp.
I
read the Kentucky, what was it?
Marijuana feasibility study.
Study. It was fucking blew my
I've
mind
heard
away.
about that, yeah.
It was by adding
That's
that and the prospectus. So he is not somebody who needs to come to me to learn about hemp. I learned a lot of my hemp from him.
I was born in it, Jack.